Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we will try to configure free NAS for replication of data from one storage to another. Assume we have a disaster recovery site and we want to replicate data to that site. For this exercise we will spin two free NAS servers assuming NAS1 is at the primary site and NAS2 as disaster recovery site. In the NAS1 server we will perform some initial configuration, such as configure time zone. Add an additional virtual disk. Enable any services needed for this exercise. In the disk section of the NAS1 server currently there are no additional disk. Since NAS1 is a virtual machine, we will add a virtual disk. Switch back to web console of NAS1 and validate we have a second disk available. Log into NAS2, that is our disaster recovery site storage. Perform the same task such as set a time zone. I have kept the time zone same for both NAS1 and NAS2. Next, on NAS2 we have to add a second disk. Add a second disk by going to VM settings and add a virtual disk. At this point both our NAS1 and NAS2 have a second disk added. Validate the second disk is available from the web console in the disk section. Switch to the primary site storage NAS1 and go to the Pools section. Click Add and then Create Pool. Give a name to the pool, and add the second disk we added earlier as a member disk of this new pool. We are not focusing on RAID level in this exercise, therefore a single disk is enough. There you go, we now have a pool created in our NAS1 storage in the primary site to store data. Go to Services section and enable the FTP service. Open any file transfer client. I am using WinSCP to access the NAS1 file system to create some dummy data. Once connected to NAS1 file system via WinSCP, we will add some data to the storage pool we created. Switch to NAS2 our storage in disaster recovery site, and create a pool. Strat the FTP service on NAS2 to be able to access its file system via WinSCP. From the logs and reports we can validate the data integrity. I thought it's best to connect to the file system and find out. We have two sessions of WinSCP1 to each NAS server. The one in the left is NAS1 and it has a few files for our demo. On the right that's NAS2 waiting for data replication job which we will be configuring next. On NAS1 storage snapshot section right now there are no snapshots available. We will configure schedule snapshot job in task section on NAS1. It's called periodic snapshot, which will run at user-defined time interval and take snapshot of the pool or target data. Click Add in periodic snapshot section. Select the dataset of which the storage server will take snapshot of. Select the retention period for the snapshot. This will help maintain number of copies that can be used as restore points. Alright, we have configured a scheduled snapshot job. As of now, the snapshots will be triggered as per schedule and store locally on NAS1 the primary site. We have to create a replication job which will replicate these snapshot on a remote storage, in our case, NAS2 our disaster recovery site. Prior to create a replication job or task we need a SSH connection configured on NAS1 primary site. Navigate to System, SSH Connection section. Click Add and give a name to the SSH connection. Keep the mode default semi-automatic. Type in the IP address of the NAS2 storage server. https://IP address. Next, type the root password of NAS2 and keep the rest of the settings default and click Save. SSH connection is configured. Next we will create a replication job. Navigate to Tasks, Replication Task section and click Add. Select on this system as source. Expand the file system and select the pool to be replicated. For destination location, select on a different system and select the SSH connection we created earlier. This will establish a connection with NAS2 and we can browse the file system. Select the pool where data will be stored. For testing we will set no encryption and click Next. For replication schedule we can either run it once or schedule to run a periodic interval. We can also select a custom retention period at the destination NAS2 or choose the same as source NAS1. Once all configuration settings are done, click on Start Replication. We have configured a replication job on NAS1. At this point the status of the replication job is pending. We can expand the job and review the replication configuration. Up on the screen we have 13 files in our data pool on NAS1 and we want the replication job to create a copy of these data on NAS2. If you have noticed carefully, I have checked recursive while selecting our source data location. Let's create some subfolder within pool. Let's create some data in those subfolders. I was referring to recursive checkbox here in the replication job while configuring our data location. A quick recap. 1. We have created storage pool on both NAS1 and NAS2. 2. Created a periodic snapshot job on NAS1. 3. Created an SSH connection. 4. Created a replication job. 5. Added some data and created subfolders on NAS1 data pool. In the next video we will check what happens when the schedule is triggered.